Hey, I'm Victoria. I'm an artist and graphic designer from France. I met Voin and Marie in 2017 and we collaborated on many projects since then, especially in Æther in Sofia. Back then, I created my first publication that I created and fully designed called Niglo. It was my first attempt to weave a East-West network with a selection of artists met during my stay in Sofia and Tehran, accompanied by a collection of found documents. This is my master thesis, translated as Resistance Modes, Networking and Intersection about feminist, anti-fascist and LGBT organizations in Southeastern Europe, especially in Bulgaria, with problematics like what are the representations of the woman in different periods of the 20th century, what are the dilemmas for the activists regarding the funding coming from the Western countries, or how the transitions of systems impacted the production of the engaged artists. In 2018, I designed Becoming the Other for a festival in Stuttgart about European independent contemporary art spaces represented by Æther. It's a corpus with the participation of 75 international artists. Today, I want to introduce you my last project for the online edition of Hoogtij. Thanks to Æther, Haga, for inviting me. The Panacea publishing project includes so far 4 different books, each one in a different context: personal or collective experiments, collaboration, and workshops. The interconnected topics are family stories and diaspora. I'm really interested by listening to the people's stories, as my own mother families arrived in France before the Second World War from Poland. Societal and economic transition, domestic work, invisible work, transmission of knowledge, the superstitions, ancestral medicine, also self-care, community care. Capitalism sells us self-care as an illusion, only the purpose to become more productive after a self-care session. You buy a face mask, paint your nails, go to the spa, and maybe then you will feel better to go back to work and get exploited. Also, these models of self-care doesn't fit to everyone in terms of beauty standards and accessibility. I was surprised to find a lot of self-care manuals, even from socialist times. Self-care is only radical when it's not related to consumption. It means accepting yourself, taking a break, not losing yourself into emotional labor, not getting into endless arguments, avoiding triggers, not forcing yourself to anything that is in contradiction with your own values. Self-care should be a constant, everyday process. Community care is way more revolutionary because this is not just taking care of each other, but to spread awareness, educate, transmit knowledge, create resistance, and humanize. Source of healing power, normal experiments. I'm not only interested in the family stories, but also about individual ones related to death, dreams, ghosts, and abduction. All these thematics can be found in the older artworks selected, but also in the added archives. You will find here the online version, not printed yet, of Panacea Anthology. It was conceived between 2018 and 2020. It's an invitation for 12 participants from France, Hungary, Bulgaria, Iran, and a collection of found documents from these countries, including Georgia, Romania, and Turkey. I found the title after gathering most of the participants of Panacea Anthology. What are these people looking in their life as much as in their researches? And how do they translate it in their work? Or what is the narrative that they created by sharing their family and personal pictures? I see Panacea as an antidote to the endless suffering and also like a potion giving supernatural strength to overcome crises. Panacea was also for me the beginning of a life without addictions, finding new way of socializing with people, how to maintain my relationships with them. It was also a quest for how my goals should not be related to immediate satisfactions, but as building on the long term. I have specific links with all these people that I met while studying in Sofia or in France and traveling abroad or through social medias. I choose them because of their sensitivity, engagement, unique path. They were or are crossing constantly the borders, and they did survive to different societal transitions. Here, the example of post-socialism and pre/post-Islamic revolutions. I have deep admiration and fascination for these people I selected, and I still didn't meet many of them. To make them participate to my publishing project is also a way to cultivate my relationship with them. I really encourage my public to check their work of all these amazing beings. Here is the publication made in July 2019 in Sofia for Sofia Art Week Festival. It was made during a workshop with 6 international artists who were participating to the festival or in residency in Sofia. We did first a collect of photographs at the Bitaka Malachevci flea market in Sofia to find curious objects related to religion or mythology, paranormal. And in the afternoon, we follow by a writing gathering of short stories concerning family bonds, superstitions, telepathy, dreams, or childhood traumas. Here is Panacea Castle Edition. This issue was realized during Von de Voin residency in March-April 2020 at the Academy Schloss Solitude in Stuttgart in Germany. We decided to collaborate on this project when I visited him in March. We posted an open call for poetry, photography, essays, and illustration or reflections. We received contribution by 30 international artists, including the fellows of the Schloss residency. This edition was for me a new step in my graphic process that pushed me to improve and create a unity with the other Panacea. The last book is Panacea Paranormal Family Edition. It's not printed yet as well. It's a corpus of stories from my own family, collected in 2014 and translated in English for this edition in 2019. The reading of these stories was a starting point for the Panacea workshop and to push people to tell about their family and other experiments. In my early work, I was really focused on my family archives and stories, and I made this book about Catholic rituals with pictures from communion, and it's like a flip book. About my graphic design process, I really wanted Panacea to have this kitschy, mythologic atmosphere. I'm interested by ancient cults and archaeology, covering the Indo-European area. I get truly inspired by the places I went, for example in Bulgaria, like sanctuaries of the first ancestors, and it makes me wonder a lot about the proto-chronism. It means how we manipulate history for nationalist purposes. I use open source and free old-fashioned ornaments for typography. I was looking for maximalism, and it turned out that it was way more difficult than to arrange everything in a minimalist approach. As we can't find in the collected documents, I drag my main inspiration from religious art, embroidery, and all what we so-called women's work, and also astrology, always undermined as a woman's knowledge, folk art from ethnographic museum, folk wisdom, divination arts, art braids, like spirit arts, botanical and medical books, Jugendstil or Art Nouveau, and decorative art. I do paper cuts as a base for my graphic researches to spend more time off screen, and it's also helped me a lot for focusing and to compose grids and to use a lot of ornaments when I do digital work. My last words will be thanks again to Æther and Hoogtij online editions.